Winning matters, your feelings don't. So let's get into this. Today's question is basically, very simply, you're playing at a higher level, you're going up against bigger competition, possibly bigger crowds, more exposure. So nerves might play a part before games. Everyone's got their own way for dealing with that. And maybe even a few days beforehand, some people might feel nerves. What do we do to take our mind off these will be great. So let's break that down. I've started off with winning matters, your feelings don't. What is the feeling of nerves? Nerves, we're going to categorize it as, say, anxiety. Okay? I don't mean the clinical term, I just mean your level of anxiety. And it's up for you to say that your nerves are useful or not useful. Can my nerves be beneficial? Well, actually they can. Whenever you get into a car, you'll put on your seatbelt, because whenever you don't put on your seatbelt, you're a little bit nervous and it makes the journey less pleasant, especially if some of the people whose cars you get into are absolutely reckless with their driving. So you probably put on 2 seatbelts. Think about that. The more danger you're exposed to, the more you might prepare and take cautions against something going wrong. Now, that's a useful thing. Essentially, is the nerves a problem? Is anxiety a problem? A different frame of reference for that emotion would be concern. I feel concerned about something, therefore I acted in this way to minimize any downsides. So if you feel nerves, that might be a good part of your performance, and that's a useful thing. So I don't want to necessarily say do this to cure your nerves. I want to first of all assess, is it a problem? You can decide specifically what the problem is to you. Now, I've thrown up before a big game. I have walked out of a live presentation. I have taken an actual panic attack while driving, things like that. No big deal. All of these are types of nerves which are probably not beneficial to my performance as a human being, athlete, speaker, whatever. But all of those have different presentations whenever I'm getting things right. If I've done enough, if I'm in control and there's less stress on me from outside realms, then I'm more likely to have a favorable level of preparation, which will help me. So what can I do to prepare for scenarios that'll make me feel better? Some athletes just get upset stomachs and they throw up and they get on with it. Some moderate what they drink and eat in order to deal with that. But we think, why do we get upset stomachs? Whenever we're nervous, whenever we have this anxiety or concern, what we're saying is we are under threat. So your body gives you the emotion of anxiety, nerves, and that is just a signal that you're perceiving the world as threatening. So what is a threat to you? As an athlete, you might be saying, well, my threat is I might not hit my goals. You might say, actually, the threat is I might be ridiculed in front of the village, the parish, the county, God forbid, the actual world, and even worse than that, TikTok. So, should you be under threat to be ridiculed, you might prepare to do something a bit safer. You might think about what your game plan is, what your strategies are for controlling your performance. One of the things that I talk to people about is whenever you prepare to deal with nerves, you can deal with it from a how am I thinking about the world or what am I currently feeling. So those are cognitive and somatic. So the cognitive is what you think about it, where you actually go, like, what am I telling myself? What are my beliefs about this threat? And then you start analyzing those beliefs. And you'll find that if you're finding your nerves to be not good, not helpful, not useful, you'll be telling yourself something out of proportion, like, this will absolutely be horrendous if I fail. This means if I do feel I'm a bad person, it means other people won't like me. And on top of that, my life is horrible should I fail at this. There's pretty much nothing you do in life, even horrific things, that will result in all of those occurring to extremes. And these extreme beliefs are useful for us because they allow us to think quickly and deal with scenarios. But actually, if we slow things down a bit and we go, is that true? Nobody will like me? I will be a complete failure just if this one thing goes wrong? No, none of that's true. Is it true to say that this will be absolutely terrible, awful, the worst thing ever? I can make worse things happen pretty easy, you know. And There will be worse things if you think you're going to live to 70. Like, you're going to have a big life with lots of big things in it, big good things and big bad things. And that's the nature of life. So this being put in its box of what actually is the threat is a useful way to pull back and challenge our philosophy. But the other way to challenge our somatic, or how we experience stress, is develop the skill of reducing how we physically feel the nerves. Now, I spoke with somebody today and they said they feel their ears pounding, their heart rate in their ears. People get sweaty palms, they get butterflies in their stomach. And this is because nerves are essentially fight or flight. Your body dumps in adrenaline because you're under threat. And then as a result, your heart pounds, you become stronger, less susceptible to pain, and more likely to produce a positive sporting endeavour whenever you're challenged in a way that's physical and requires a lot of physical exertion. And that feeling in your belly is whenever you get vasodilation, which is your veins and arteries constricting to pump blood away from unnecessary things. Your stomach, it's not necessary for sport or when you're under threat, so it pumps the blood into your legs. So if you feel butterflies in your stomach, you can actually go, that's me being ready for things. Now, if you think that's too much and I'm not coping with this, I need to calm myself down, it's a Thursday, the game's on Sunday. Progressive muscular relaxation, there's a link in the description as to how to do that, is essentially a method for training your ability or your skill to relax. So progressive muscular relaxation is different from mindfulness. Mindfulness is all like hippy-whippy nonsense at times. And don't get me wrong, I know there's some studies to say that it's useful and some people find it's beneficial. That's fine. I don't do it with athletes because it's too loose. I like to hit the nail on the head first time, every time. Progressive muscular relaxation includes a number of key components. And they are, 1, you're focusing on your breathing. You're focusing on the sensation of being relaxed. You're also focusing on your muscles, contracting and relaxing them physiologically. You're working through your entire body and creating a physiological state of relaxation. And then on top of that, you're becoming aware of what muscles are tight, sore, stiff, etc., and encouraging them to relax. This has added benefits for athletes, moreover than mindfulness, because essentially when you train, you fatigue your muscles, and then other muscles carry the load. You'll know if you get injured, you end up walking in a wonky way or whatever, because you're holding yourself differently, and then other muscles get stressed. So this process of learning how to both psychologically and physiologically relax the body is really beneficial for athletes and general population. And the approach of progressive muscular relaxation, you do 12 sessions of that for an hour, and you will get a clinical difference in clinical anxiety, not performance or sport anxiety. So it's really useful, even just for mental health. And it's a skill that can be developed. Mindfulness is so varied and vague, it's actually just a bit difficult to to describe what people should do in all the different ways. And actually, sometimes it's contraindicated for people. Whereas this is a specific process of teaching the skill of being able to relax. So check out the link, give it a go, see what it's like, commit to doing 10 sessions of that. 10, 15-minute sessions for an athlete's perfectly fine. If you want bigger doses, do more of it. And that's pretty much it. Accumulate 12 hours of it, and you'll see a marked difference in your ability to control your nerves. Now, what I then do with athletes is I'll say, okay, when you're feeling nervous in the middle of a competition or in a position where you can't really lie down and go through that process, you can tap into that skill by going and doing the contract and the relax and becoming aware of the process and the state that your body's in and refocusing on your ability to control it. And interesting, the person I told today about hearing their ears and their heartbeat, well, I said, that's brilliant. You now then can get direct feedback of how you slow your heart rate down, which then gives you direct feedback that you're under control. So let's see, what else have we got in here? The other things that matter is there specific scenarios about your competition that are going to cause you this feeling of nerves? Ooh, I made a mistake there. What you are subjected to does not cause you nerves. what you think about what you're subjected to causes you nerves. Okay, what your beliefs are. And what I mean by that is whenever I see that, oh, say for example, I'm playing in centre back and I'm going to be going for a lot of high balls, and the person I'm marking is taller than me or smellier than me or bigger than me or has a better looking boyfriend or girlfriend than me or whatever it is, and you're going, how will I be judged, blah 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 blah, this is an anxiety provoking condition. It's because your beliefs about what's going to occur are the problem, not the situation, because other people would be in the exact same scenario and think, wow, this is a great opportunity for me to dig in, challenge myself, and tear this person a new one. So how you judge it is very important. Your feelings, your emotions are caused by your beliefs. That's why I say winning matters, your feelings don't. So let's get back to that. What you can do, think about the position you'll be in, or if it's sport, think about that position. Think about it going badly in a way that you don't want it to do, and then think about your response. Think about the things that will occur beforehand that you can do, and think about you being prepared to focus on the things that will prevent that. So very simply, if you know that this person might outcatch you, you might think, right, to give myself the best chance of being up there when they're up there to catch the ball, I'm going to make sure that I am within 3 paces of where they are during any kickouts or whatever is going on. I'm going to make sure that I have the ability to take a running jump, whereas they might just take a standing jump, and that will allow me to get up there and compete. Now, I can also say that if I cannot touch them, get up there, get in and get in the mixer with them, I can say, right, my tactic is to let them get the ball, and as soon as they get down, as soon as their toes touch soil, nail the ball, sorry. So that you're actually preparing, going, right, okay, I forfeit the bit I can't compete at, but I know that the first thing I can compete at is that bit, and I will hit them as hard as I can and hit the ball appropriately hard in order to give myself the best chance of winning the ball from them. So strategizing and playing to your strengths and envisaging what might go wrong and how you might overcome that is a source of confidence. Similarly though, you don't want to overdo this in terms of imagery and imagining what goes on. You don't want to overdo all the things going wrong, because that's not good. It's about overcoming those things that go wrong and planning in advance. Now, there is one other thing that kind of relates to that, which is mental contrasting with implementation intentions. Or for the people like me who are simple-minded, think about it. Think about what you want. Think about what you are going to try and why you're trying to do that, why it's important. Think about it going wrong and thinking about how you will overcome that. I've actually just done that with imagery, but it doesn't have to be sitting down and imagining the competition. It can actually be written out in a much more strategical across a bigger goal, whether that be improving your ability to squat, improving your sprint ability, improving your communication ability as a team. So those are the essential ways of planning out what it is you are going to have to compete against. So let's summarize. Develop the skill of progressive muscular relaxation. Imagine things going wrong and imagine your response to that. Imagine things going wrong and imagine preventing that from occurring. What can you do in the game scenario to do that? And then challenge your beliefs. What pressure are you putting on yourself that isn't real? And you'll notice it, because if I say what should occur, you'll finish that sentence with I should do X, and that is a demand. And when you should all over yourself, you put pressure on yourself that's unnecessary. You can say, I would prefer for X to occur, but I don't need X to occur for me to apply myself fully in that situation. If I break that down further, I need to win in All Ireland. I should win in All Ireland. I must win in All Ireland. And as opposed to, I'd prefer to win in All Ireland. I don't have to and don't need to, but I'm going to strive as hard as I can. By God, if there's a stone left unturned, it won't be by me. Both of those are the highest level of motivation, but colloquially we say should and must and have to, but actually that puts pressure on us because those things are outside our control. The things that aren't are what we do. So by focusing in on that, we can reduce our anxiety. Lastly, to summarize, what I'd also say is ask yourself, what have I done well for big games? What have I done differently that has reduced my nerves? And what have I done for small games that has increased my nerves? Quite often I find people who realize the gig is up and they've done badly and they've lost a game suddenly start playing well because the pressure's off. And it's interesting when we think about that the pressure we put on ourselves holds us back. So it's nearly about freeing ourselves from what we think about the consequences. I hope this has been useful. I hope if there's anything in it that needs clarity, drop me a line and I'll provide some more clarity or direction. And until the next one, look after yourselves and look after others. Ooh, thinking about that, it might be useful to note when you're being successful in training, when others are being successful in your squad, team, or club, and that will promote them being less stressed. So pick out the good and push that around. Talk about the good, and that will definitely help people have a bit of confidence in tough scenarios. Best of luck.